What's up, everybody? Welcome to Soft Tissue Practice Revolution, the podcast. My name is Dr. Maggio. My mission is to help practitioners that specialize in soft tissue treatments and how to significantly increase their skill set, their business, grow their practice, make more money, all while being ethical and not ripping off patients. So welcome to episode 3. I can't believe I'm already on episode 3. And feeling pretty good so far, getting more comfortable talking and getting the message out there. Hope you guys like the first 2 episodes. And like I said, we're here to help. And if you want to be part of this movement, join our Facebook group and really get part of this. So on today's episode 3, I'm going to talk about why I don't do adjustments, manipulations, any of that stuff ever. Period. Nada. Zilch. From day one. Never did an adjustment even coming out of school. And I talked about this in episode 1 on my origin story of where I came from and the constant battle that I have being a chiropractor who doesn't believe in the validity of adjustments long term. I'm really big on functional improvements and sustainable improvements with specific and measurable results. And I've learned that over the years through all of my extensive training in advanced soft tissue techniques, treatments, diagnosis, communication, all those things. And I think there's a place for chiropractic in a symptom-based type of place. Like if a person's feeling a little out of whack, they want to short-term feel better. I think it can help with short-term alleviation of pain. Sorry, getting a sip of coffee here. I think that'll help. But I don't buy into the subluxation theory that it's the root cause of all disease and everything like that. I just don't see it. And I talked about when I was in school, I was taking an applied kinesiology class. And essentially what happened in the class was the teacher came in and was like doing all this shit, and was like, oh, this muscle's weak. We're doing this, adjustment here, snap that, bop, bop, bop. All of a sudden, now the muscle's really strong. And it's like, whew, good to go. And raised my hand, asked a question. I said, well, before you did that, you told the person that it was going to be weak. So you put in their mind that it was going to be weak. You did something, and it was strong. Awesome. Heard of the placebo effect. Yeah, that's awesome. And my question for her was, how is that muscle going to be if we test it 20 minutes later or tomorrow or a week later? And she looked at me like my head was going to explode, like there was smoke coming out of my head, and like I was speaking in tongue, like I was a witch that needed to be burned at the stake. And she said, you know what, Matt? If you don't believe in the true healing power of chiropractic, she said chiropractic. You know those people, the chiropractic. They are bringing down the power of God in their hands, and they're going to fix you, and you're going to be good. Yeah, we know those people. And they're probably not listening to this podcast. You're listening to this podcast because you're into soft tissue, and you just like me. You understand, you're inquisitive, you know that there's something different out there. And I remember, I started thinking about it. Very basic. You got your bone. Your bone goes out of place, as they say in the chiropractic model. Put it back in. Then it goes back out of place. Put it back in. Repeat, 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 repeat. Keep coming in for life. Perfect. Good business model, right? Sure. So I asked myself the question when I was back in school was, well, what holds the bone in place? Last time I checked was muscles, ligaments, tendons, all that stuff. Soft tissue. Fix the soft tissue, won't the bone stay in place and not go out of place? That was a paradigm shift that I had, and I made that epiphany, luckily, while I was still in school and I didn't drop out yet, and I just doubled down on all the soft tissue training and the treatment, and I've just continued to learn that over the years. Now, the profession of chiropractic is questionable for me in many aspects, but there are people trying to do good with it. And I appreciate those people, and I know what they're trying to do. It's the people, the crazies. And I'll give you an example of a crazy. So I practiced down here in Florida, and this was back in, when was this? 2014. I was at a continuing education seminar, mandated by the state, and required. So, all that. So everyone in the room's really not fully paying attention. There was some guy that brought like an air mattress in and was sleeping in the back. That by itself, people really don't care at that portion. And those are the same people that wonder why their practice is struggling because they don't give a shit. They're not providing value. But if you're a soft tissue practitioner, you're different because you're putting the extra work in and the extra training, which is good. But I remember sitting there, and this event was sponsored by Maximize Living. If you know who these people are, yeah, fuck those guys in the nicest way possible. But this guy got up to the front of the room, and he started talking about the magic of the adjustment and all the things that it can heal. Cancer, diabetes, asthma, colic, all this stuff. Whatever. I don't know. Say what you want to say. That's fine. Whatever. I don't mind that. Like, if that's what you believe and you want to do that, go right ahead. I'm results driven. And if people, for you to buy into a technique or a system, they have to believe it. There's a problem with that anyway, but that's a whole different episode. But I remember he said something, and I wasn't really paying attention, but he said something. He goes, hey, you guys remember those mass shootings back? This was like talking about Columbine and all that stuff. And he said, you know what? And I was like, I perked up. I was like, where is this fucker going? He says, you know what? I wish I could have got my hands on those shooters before they committed those atrocities. And I was able to remove their subluxations because their brains weren't functioning properly because they were subluxated. And that's why they committed the mass shootings. So if we can get our hands on all these people, we're going to save the world. And I remember going, are you fucking kidding me? You just said that? And half the room clapped. They're like, yeah, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this real life? But it was. And it is. So that's the crazies. They're out there. We all know they're out there. We got the people, chiropractic. Yeah, sure. All that stuff. But here's the thing. Soft tissue works. I know it works. I put the time in. I put the effort in. And it does get people better for the long term. But the hard part is, it is hard to learn. It takes practice. It takes dedication. And it takes knowledge. And a lot of people are allergic to details. And they continue to struggle. And they dabble in it. They might do a little bit of manipulation. They might do some e-stim. They might do some taping. They might do some corrective exercise. They do a little bit of bastardized version of some soft tissue that they worked, and they can't figure out why their patients aren't getting better. I'm here to tell you the root of any musculoskeletal problem begins at the tissue level. I know people coming all over the place arguing with me. It's the neurological system. It's this. This muscle is not firing. It's this. It's a nutrient deficiency. It's this. Let's come to fucking terms with it. We are a sedentary society that sits all day long, and then we sit on this thing all day long and stare at it. We sit on our ass, we don't move, and we put our tissue into a horrible position. That tissue does not get enough blood and oxygen. It becomes hypoxic. When that happens, the body starts laying down little pieces of collagen. Over time, it gets bigger and bigger. Forms scar tissue. Scar tissue is real. You can feel it. You can find it. And you know what? You can fix it if you're good at it. That's the difference. So I fix scar tissue. I find scar tissue. Scar tissue is very real. And it is the key component to stabilizing, or at least trying to fix any musculoskeletal injury. And if you're not addressing the scar tissue component of that and the tissue imbalance, you're never going to get true results for the patients. Now, people will come and yell at me and argue with me about all this, but you know what? They're wrong. They're flat out wrong. And this is why I don't do adjustments, because there is no long-term lasting effect on that. So I'm the chiropractor that doesn't adjust. So over the years, I've spent over $150,000 of my own money outside of education, learning every soft tissue technique, training, system, everything out there that you can imagine I've taken it all in, and I've gotten really, really fucking good at it. And that's not me being cocky. It's because I put the time in, I put the effort in. I made a post on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I said, there's people out there that say soft tissue treatment doesn't work. And that's said by the people that suck at it. Because everyone wants a quick fix, they want something easy. But the thing is, soft tissue treatment really does work. And I have a proven system and a method that I've created to identify, find, fix, and get rid of scar tissue with your hands. That works, and it's proven to work. But I've also shown every other aspect of the business as well. So that's what I'm doing in this journey. We talked about this on episode 2, my dad dying. Not my dad dying, my dad getting murdered by the current medical model. This is why I created this system. This is why I created the soft tissue practice revolution, to share it with the world. So come along on this journey with me. Click the link in the bio. It goes right to my Facebook page. And what that will do is allow you to come into our group. And our group is going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of things going on in that group. We're going to teach you how to diagnose injuries, how to find injuries, how to test for injuries, how to treat injuries, how to market, how to sell, how to do everything. And I'm not selling you anything, because I want to get better doctors out there so I can fulfill my mission, which is the end pain pill epidemic right now with the end pain pills movement. So join me on this journey. And I thank you for taking your time, because your most valuable resource is your time, and giving that to me is something that I'm forever grateful for. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please feel free to drop me a comment, a share, a like, or if you think I'm an asshole, tell me I'm an asshole and tell me why. Because you know what? I'd love to have a conversation and a debate with people out there that don't like what I'm doing or what I'm saying. So get out there, have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wherever you are. And if this episode stuck with you, share it with someone. Spread the love. Thanks.